The latest on the killing of an OU student. The Oklahoma Death Penalty Commission releases its final report, and OU returns a famous stolen painting. This is OU Nightly. Norman police are still looking for both suspects involved in a shooting that occurred Sunday night at the Willowbrook Apartments off East Lindsay Street.
Nathaniel Ewing was with one of his friends in the apartment's parking lot when two men attempted to rob them. Investigators say one of them pulled a gun and shot Ewing. The suspects fled the scene, and police have not been able to find them.
We have been able to identify one of those individuals. He's being considered a person of interest. However, at this point, no arrests have been made.
Ewing's friends and family are using social media as a way to offer their condolences and share their thoughts about the OU sophomore from Iowa Park, Texas.
We would just hang out sometimes, and he was just the nicest person. He'd literally do anything and everything for you. Like, he would just drive me around and get food for me, and so he was just a very nice guy, and I think what happened was very sad, and I just hope that they find justice for him.
A GoFundMe account has been set up in Nathan Ewing's name to help his family with costs.
The Oklahoma House of Representatives passed 3 criminal justice bills Monday, 2 of which criminal justice reform advocates applaud, and one they say could create additional hurdles for people after they are released from prison. Senate Bill 319 would make the inmates pay for court costs associated with crimes they commit while in prison. It also would make inmates pay to review cases when the inmate believes he or she is being wrongfully incarcerated. Senate Bill 650 would make it easier for people convicted of nonviolent crimes to get their criminal records expunged. Bill number 604, also out of the Senate, would increase pretrial training for law enforcement. That bill passed both chambers unanimously and now heads to the governor's desk for approval. And Governor Mary Fallin did approve 42 bills yesterday. New laws cover subjects ranging from safety deposit box rules to taxi cab regulations. One allows brewers to open their doors an hour or 2 hours earlier, now at 8 a.m. So far this legislative session, 89 bills have become law, and as of Monday, 44 bills were still waiting to receive the governor's signature. The full listing of these bills can be found on our website, ounightly.com.
And the Oklahoma Death Penalty Commission released today that Oklahoma should keep executions on hold until it can reform its capital punishment system. Members of the commission discussed their final report during a news conference today at the Capitol. The commission was formed after Oklahoma's execution process faced increased scrutiny following a series of botched legal injections. 15 Oklahoma death row inmates are now awaiting execution dates. And although these inmates are awaiting their execution dates, the wait ended for 2 Arkansas inmates. Harley Toothman has more.
Arkansas conducted the nation's first double execution since 2000. Jack Jones and Marcel Williams received lethal injections on Monday night, just 3 hours apart.
The governor knows this is the most grave responsibility he'll ever have, and he takes that very seriously.
Both inmates were on death row for the convictions of brutal murders that happened 2 decades ago, and both unsuccessfully sought to delay their lethal injections at a state prison southeast of Little Rock. Former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn potentially broke the law by failing to disclose foreign income he earned for a speaking engagement in Russia.
As a former military officer, you simply cannot take money from Russia, Turkey, or anybody else. And it appears as if he did take that money. It was inappropriate, and there are repercussions for the violation of law.
Violations of this nature can earn up to 5 years jail time, although President Trump's Justice Department would ultimately make the decision on whether to investigate or charge him. The Turkish military carried out airstrikes today in Iraq and Syria. The idea behind the airstrikes was to target the Kurdish Workers' Party, a group it considers to be terrorist. 2 other Kurdish groups, which the U.S. is assisting in the fight against ISIS, said the Turkish strikes killed more than 20 of their fighters. And late today, Storm, a federal judge blocked a Trump administration order to withhold funding from communities that limit cooperation with U.S. immigration authorities.
All right, thank you, Harley. The University of Oklahoma has announced a famous French painting has been returned to its home. Leon Meyer, the owner of the painting, discovered years ago that it was stolen by Nazis during World War II. Meyer sued the university to get the painting back, and in 2015 she agreed to a deal that would see the painting get moved back and forth between the university and France. OU President David Bourne recognized that Meyer was the rightful owner, but her representative says it's absurd that the university would claim to be acting nobly by taking credit for returning the stolen piece.
And speaking of art on campus, yesterday, the National Weather Center hosted its third biannual art show. Every piece in the gallery related to weather in some way. Paintings and photos were submitted from 46 states and even countries like Japan and Italy. The artist who best captured the relationship between weather and art stormed out with a grand prize of $10,000.
Artists look at the sky, they look at the ocean, they look at the land, and there are messages there. And artists see that. We as mathematicians and scientists, we do it one way, they do it another.
And speaking of weather, Emily, I know today was kind of warm.
Yeah, it's getting kind of cloudy out too. Kylie, what's the rest of the night going to look like?
Guys, well, that's right. It is so hot out there, still 81 right now here for us in Norman. However, that's about to change. These lines of showers and thunderstorms are starting to push on through. That's out in the west right now. We're watching the formation for the possibility for some severe storms. These are our current dew points. See how moist it is out there right now. 63 as a dew point here for us in Norman. This is that dry line. If storms start to form along that dry line, right behind that cold front, things could get severe. I'll be talking more about that. Coming up in Maine weather, 2 cold fronts on that 7-day forecast and chance for some more storms on Friday. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Kylie. Several Oklahoma schools made it on the U.S. News and World Report's list of top high schools in the nation. Schools that top the list from the Sooner State include Edmond North, Harding Fine Arts Academy, Norman North, Edison Preparatory School, and Classen High School of Advanced Studies. 41 schools from Oklahoma made the second and third tiers. And a complete list of the schools that made the cut, you can find that list on ounightly.com. And a student from one of those schools is in Washington, D.C. today to compete in the Poetry Out Loud National Finals. Christine Guerrero from Lawton High School is one of 53 state champions who is competing at George Washington University. Finalists will advance to another round tomorrow.
And still to come on OU Nightly, a major tech company is taking a stand against fake news.
Plus, a local family restaurant becomes a part of Norman history. We'll tell you which one next. A new study estimates that the Cherokee Nation has a direct economic impact on the state of Oklahoma economy that's greater than $2 billion. The study found direct or indirect employment by the Tahlequah-based tribe totals nearly 18,000 jobs in northeast Oklahoma alone. The tribe has conducted the survey every 2 years since 2010.
And a bill made to extend 3 specific tax initiatives, these initiatives designed to keep Oklahoma's aerospace economy flying, is headed to Governor Mary Fallon's desk. If signed to law, Senate Bill 120 will extend these following credits for another 8 years, January 2016 through 2026, excuse me. Take a look. First, a tax credit to the employer of up to 10% of an engineer's salary for 5 years, and a tax credit for tuition reimbursements for new engineer graduates, and a tax credit qualifying the engineer for up to $5,000 annually for 5 years at the most.
Flying cars, a more than $100 million payout to one CEO, and a company taking a stance against fake news. Allie, what's going on in the business world?
That's right, Storm. So the outgoing CEO of Yahoo will get quite the payday as she departs from the company. Marissa Mayer is projected to walk out the door with $186 million. The chief executive will step down once Yahoo completes the sale of its core business to Verizon. Mayer's hefty payout comes despite her not accomplishing what she was hired to do 5 years ago, revitalize the fading internet icon. Instead of improvements, Yahoo sold its business to Verizon last year for $4.5 billion. The deal is expected to close in June after several months of delays due to Yahoo's security breaches. And Google is taking a stand against fake news. The Alphabet Inc. company announced it will implement a rare, sweeping change to remove fake news from the top of its search results. In order to do this, Google will change the algorithm behind its powerful search engine to demote misleading, false, and offensive online articles. This move follows criticism of Google and Facebook for hosting misleading information, particularly tied to the 2016 U.S. presidential election. And more Google-related news, a company backed by Google co-founder Larry Page has debuted its long-kept secret flying car. The startup company Kitty Hawk released a demo video of its ultralight aircraft that can take off vertically. The prototype doesn't really look like a car, more like a jet ski with wings. It's expected to go on sale by the end of the year, and the price has yet to be announced. The startup says customers will not need a pilot's license to use it. And for the first time this millennium, vinyl is predicted to become a billion-dollar industry. Audit and consulting firm Deloitte expects about 40 million vinyl records to be sold this year, which totals $900 million in sales. Although vinyl sales are soaring, they still come second to music streaming. And guys, I have to admit, I have had a record player for the past couple of years. There's just something so authentic about listening to vinyl records.
Yeah, so do I. Thanks, Allie.
Thanks, Allie.
Thanks.
And although I don't have any records of my own, there's one lunch hotspot in Norman who's been around since the days of vinyl. OU Nightly's Ashley Pratt has more on this historical family business.
Randy McHugh's parents opened the Sooner Dairy Lunch in Norman in 1954.
My dad didn't know how to cook, and my mom was a really good cook. And she taught my dad how to cook, you know, back in the back. And she worked the front. And so that was a help. Big help, because otherwise I don't think they'd have got off the ground.
The restaurant was originally open 7 days a week, but now it's only open 5 days a week.
My parents started going to church. They became Christians, and then they would try to come home after church and open up for business, and it was just really too hectic, and then you couldn't really justify, you know, people that work for him having to work on Sundays as well.
Car hops used to take food out to customers' cars, but after the women kept getting proposed to, they had to switch to a new system. They were tired of training car hops all the time.
A lot of the younger guys would come out here, and next thing you know, they were proposing and they were going off and getting married.
Randy says, other than this, not much has changed at the restaurant. He even keeps the old menus up for customers to see how much prices have changed over the years.
Randy says his father, who is 90 years old, still comes to help out in the mornings.
Randy sees his family a lot since the restaurant is family owned and operated.
Oh yeah, we get sick of each other all the time.
Despite this, Randy's favorite part of working here, besides making a living, is getting to work with his family. Ashley Pratt, OU Nightly.
And still ahead on OU Nightly, a former Sooner great has a new NFL home.
Plus, we're starting to see some clouds out there. Kylie Capps will have more with weather.
Welcome back to OU Nightly. I'm Kylie Capps. Currently, we're looking at flooding video from Raleigh, North Carolina, where more than 8 inches of rain fell, causing a lot of problems for people getting to work this morning. Now, I'm not expecting that much rain to fall for us over the next few days. However, it's going to be a pretty significant rain event. Look at these clouds starting to roll in right now. Current temperature is outside 82 for us. That dew point still high, meaning severe weather is still a possibility later on this evening. All right, let's take a look at the radar forecast right now. Okay, so currently, here we go, 9:24 p.m. This is on Tuesday. All right, there's that chance for some rain. Go back in. Okay, all right, so there's that supercell right now starting to form 9:30 p.m. Here we go, starting to develop. Okay, so just with this significant severe weather event, I'm just expecting it to be a hail and a wind event. The possibility for a tornado is still there, but I'm thinking it's going to remain mainly to the northeast of us. So again, that tornado potential is still there. Something to keep an eye on later on this evening. Now, this is going to be happening again after about 9 p.m. tonight, Wednesday early morning too. Those clouds starting to scatter on and move east. Here's our severe outlook again. We are going to be in that slight risk for us here in Norman. Kind of an iffy boundary though. Again, that low tornado threat, large hail, 60+ mile-per-hour winds. Okay, here's my hail zone. Here's that most significant hail up to the north and northeast of us, but still including Norman, up to golf ball size hail for us. Lows across the entire state tonight, kind of all over the place because of that cold front. 40 degrees out there in the Panhandle, much cooler for us here tonight. Day planner across the day. Tomorrow, those winds extremely strong, bringing in that strong north wind, only up to 84 tomorrow. Again, highs across the entire state, mid-50s, and here's a look at that 7-day forecast. Lots of rain on the 7-day, guys. It's going to be extremely wet for us over the next few days. Again, most significant, though, on Saturday. Chance for some severe storms again on Friday. We'll be talking more about that later on this week, too, so just stay advised.
Well, it sounded like we need some rain, so.
Thanks, Kylie.
Thanks, Kylie.
Coming up on OU Nightly, Colin Kennedy will join us with more from OU baseball. They're trying to get back to their winning ways. Plus, the Thunder are heading to Houston, hoping to stay alive. Stay with us.
Welcome back. The OKC Thunder look to stay alive tonight as they take on the Rockets in Game 5 of their playoff series. Now, despite another strong triple-double from Russell Westbrook and a bit of an off night for Mr. James Harden in Game 4, the Rockets relied on an impressive outing from Nene and benefited from a pretty weird finish to take the 3-1 series lead. As you'll see, Nene slams the ball home here, and then this is that weird finish I'm talking about. Steve Adams gets his rebound, kicks out to Russ, who nails the three, but then the Thunder forget how to foul, and Nene gives it up. Next up, the Thunder are going to have some pressure on them to move on.
The one thing about Houston is that they've got obviously a very, very explosive offensive scoring team. Whether it be their first or second unit doesn't make a difference. And sometimes for us, that group I thought played well, but I didn't think we made necessarily particularly shots in that situation.
Some big news today is Governor Mary Fallin signed Senate Bill 425, which now makes it possible for people that cause penalties against schools like agents and boosters to be sued. This will help schools that lose money because of things like players receiving cash from another party. In Sooner news, however, last night, Sooner Sports Pad welcomed 2 members of the 3-time national champion men's gym team. Josh Yee and Colin Van Wicklen got a chance to flash their newest hardware and talk about their 3rd straight national title. With men's and women's gym both taking home titles this year, it's safe to say their success drives each other.
Sure, but I think excited is the best word. The entire team went over to our coach's house and we watched the meet. We were jumping up and down, getting all excited for them. And just to see their faces after they won, it just made us want it just a little bit more.
OU baseball finally snapped their losing streak on Sunday with a win over Kansas. Tonight, they welcome in UT Arlington for their final non-conference game of the season. The Sooners hope to win this midweek game and finally build some positive momentum.
Keep a momentum going, you start building a new streak, and then you go into West Virginia, a team that's playing good, who's down a couple of arms right now. So if we can go in there feeling good against a team that's a little bit undermanned like we were, it sets the stage to be a good situation for us. So I'm ready for a good situation.
A former Sooner made NFL headlines today. Adrian Peterson is Bayou bound after signing a 2-year deal with the New Orleans Saints. The deal is worth $7 million with $3.5 million guaranteed in 2017. The Saints were the only team to formally offer Peterson a contract in the offseason, and Peterson said he believes that he could help the Saints contend next season. All right, guys, if you've been struggling this week, we have a clip that may make you feel a little bit better about yourself. This is Mr. DJ Wilson of the South Bend Cubs. A beach volleyball entered the playing field, and man, he can't get it out of the field to save his life.
Here he goes again.
Oh, just a little bit outside.
All right, let's speed this up. He's going to try again. Can't get it done there.
Oh, gosh.
Can he get it done now? No.
I imagine this is what I would look like trying to do this.
But, he can't get it there. Eventually,
almost.
Though.
I feel like it's coming.
That
it has
girl
to
just
be
smacked it down. Did you see that?
Rejection.
They are rooting against him.
Eventually, though, a young lady's going to catch the ball.
There we go. Helped him out a
finally
little
help
bit.
the poor kid it out. Let's get her on the team and see if she can make some plays
Better
out
than
there.
I would have done. Better than I would have done.
Me too. Thanks, Colin.
Absolutely.
Still to come on OU Nightly, a policeman makes a surprise appearance somewhere you'll never guess. Stay with us.
Well, since my baby left me, well, I found a new place to dwell. Well, it's down at the end of Lonely Street, that heartbreak hotel where I'll be just a lonely
I'm Lauren Linville at the Update Desk. A San Francisco federal judge blocked part of President Trump's executive order to cut funding to cities that don't comply with immigration enforcement actions. Trump's order targeted cities that refuse to provide assistance to federal authorities in locating and detaining undocumented immigrants. And a Houston-based pipeline company is cleaning up the nearly 20,000 gallons of oil it spilled near the town of Loyal in Kingfisher County. That's it for now. Back to you in the studio.
Expected when he shows up in the neighborhood. Saturday night, a child's dance club was holding a dance-off behind a home. Somebody called to complain about the noise when a police car pulled up. Everyone expected the music to get shut off, but it wasn't, and take a look. You can see what happened instead. Look at that, Storm. I think that's what you would look like doing the salsa dance.
Yeah, there we go. That never
You
happens
start
to my
surprising
parties,
kids
though.
at their dance
The cops don't dance in Norman like that. I don't know.
Definitely do not.
All right, thanks. All right, thanks for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by the Gaylord College. We're going to get another look at the weather. I'm so sorry,
No,
Kylie.
not
Tell
a
us, is it
problem.
dancing weather
okay,
out
guys,
there?
this evening that rain is going to return. It's up in the far northwestern part of the state right now, moving in. Again, a 40% chance after the sun goes down tonight. So it's going to be a rainy, cloudy evening for us, guys.
Maybe dancing indoors tonight.
Right, yeah,
All right.
stay indoors.
Thanks, Kylie. Now, thank you for watching OU Nightly, brought to you by Gaylord College at the University of Oklahoma.
We'll see you back here tomorrow night live at 4:30.
Have a great evening.
Good night.